This time we're making our way all the way to Canalave City. There's a few areas in which we need to cover. Uh, Firstly, we have the Apom here. Apom is usually a honey tree encounter. Therefore, the easiest way to take care of that is just to go into the underground. There's a few more encounters like that, but mostly we're going to be over by the Pokemon Mansion. There's a few Pokemon to pick up there, and then the route before Canalave City. I am nicknaming the Apom Superior Dora based off the Yu-Gi-Oh card numbers 81, Super Dreadnought Cannon Superior Dora. Here in the Trophy Garden, there's a couple of Pokemon that we just normally wouldn't be able to get, or Pokemon that are a little bit harder to get. The two main ones would be Pikachu and Pichu. Pichu obviously evolves into Pikachu, but otherwise we would have to breed either a Pikachu or a Raichu in order to get Pichu. So it's really good that they put that there. And of course, Pikachu is in the Pokédex because Pikachu is in every Pokemon game. There's also Roselia, which evolves from Badoo. Badoo also evolves by Happiness, so that was another Pokemon that I just don't have to train. I do later use a stone to evolve the Roselia, and I come up with a nice little nickname for it. I name it Xander. So then after that, we encountered a Pikachu, and the way that I usually go about it, I like to name my Raichus mainly pancakes because of the Alolan Raichu lore where they eat waffles in order to evolve. That's somehow how the Pikachus there managed to adapt into the psychic type Raichu. Um, so I named it Pancakes because the alliteration Pancakes Pikachu, it's a lot easier. Then, of course, we encounter Pichu and we catch Pichu. Don't really name it anything because, Pancakes is completely accounted for. Oh, that's right. I did end up naming the Pichu my son because I was like, whatever. It's a little guy. Let me just name him something. So after that, we've actually realized that we're playing on a Friday. So we fly over to Floroma Town for, you guessed it, we're going to get that Drifloon encounter. This was something I was hoping I was able to do day one. But if you played Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl day one on that Friday, the Drifloon actually did not spawn into the world. So Darian and I think Jaquan as well, we all had to wait until a later Friday in order to pick these up. I ended up getting this one to, well, I would say today. Today is Friday, but whatever Friday I recorded this was at least a week or two ago. It did give me a little bit of trouble, but in the end, we're gonna end up catching this, and I name it Helium instead of Helium. Helium because it's a ghost type. I thought I was being clever about it. We do add it later, but more importantly, now that we caught it, we got enough EXP for Barboach to evolve into Wish Cash, making the name Wumbo a lot more apparent because it's got the big old W on its forehead. From here, we're actually going to end up going back to Jubilife City and crossing over to that left side that we couldn't access before because we did not have Surf. Now that we have Surf, not only are we able to cross over, but we're able to get a couple more encounters that we normally wouldn't. We also do have the Super Rod, which enables a couple more encounters, couple more encounters. So here we're going to get Tentacool, we're going to get Wingull, we're going to get, what is it called, Finneon, and a couple others down the road. So enjoy. Okay, so I'm back. The last Pokemon that we need to catch here is Mr. Mime, and it's very interesting how this ends up happening. My newly evolved Ambipom is just a little bit too strong, and also hates mimes. So we immediately knocked out the first encounter. It took us a little while, but we managed to get a second encounter, and yet again, Ambipom. We tried to go a little bit easier, but my Pokemon just don't like mimes apparently. So I send out little Munchlax here. Munchlax is pretty strong, but not too strong. Uh, but it's going to end up just being more of the same. Just give it a second. We go for the body slam and it just dies instantly. So it took us 3 attempts. We somehow luckily encountered a third Mr. Mime not too long after. Again, this is all cut for convenience. And this time I take my time with it. I use the weakest Pokemon I could possibly throw out at this thing. And yeah, we're going to end up catching this Mr. Mime. And if I did name it, I named it Barriered. We'll see if I named it. Give me a sec. Okay, so we skipped right over that, but that's all right. Now that we are at Canalave, we have a couple of things to do. There's a lot of story stuff that's going to happen at the end of all of this. There's the Iron Island, which we will speed right through in a little bit. And of course, there's the Canalave City Gym. But before all of that, we run into Barry, and we have one more rival battle with him. His team's still not that great. Doesn't really take that much. Honestly, I feel bad for showing you it because it's so quick. But it's a nice little 5v6. His team's not that horrible. It's the same as Diamond and Pearl, but unlike the gym leaders, Barry doesn't really have that many strategies that he sort of goes for. So we're just gonna speed on through this battle. And thanks to Berry, we got enough EXP for Wingull to evolve into Pelipper, as well as for Drifloon to evolve into Drifblim. So from there, we go down to the Iron Island. We meet up with Riley after I struggle with the movement. Yep, there you go. So go downstairs, meet Riley. We go through the entire thing. We're not going to do this because it's all just double battles, and it's a chance to get some EXP. The only important thing is that the swine up that I caught evolved into a mammal swine, but unfortunately none of those Pokemon are in the regional decks. After beating a couple members of Team Galactic, Riley is very thankful and gives you the Riolu egg. This will hatch later, but for now we're just gonna, throw it in the, what was that? Threw in the box. Yeah, we just got rid of it. Okay, so now that all that's out the way, we can finally go into the Canalave gym. The Canalave gym is really cool. I like the way that it looks, even in this game. The fact that you have like all these little, what would you call these? Like little elevators, but they're not elevators because it's a video game and it's like little platforms that raise up. Once we complete the puzzle, we reach Byron, the father of Rourke, the first gym leader. It's really cool seeing them make little parallels like this, as Rourke is a rock type gym leader, Byron is a steel type, which is like the next level up. I would have really loved if his team had more than 3 Pokemon, but I guess it kind of makes sense for what his team is. So with his Bronzor, he likes to set up a Trick Room, and because his Pokemon are Steel type, they're pretty slow and they get to take really big advantage of it. So after setting up Trick Room, Bronzor opts to confuse my Ponyta, then it sets up a Sandstorm. All of this tech and setup on his first Pokemon is really cool. However, he's not taking it really that much advantage of it as he's burning the turns. Once Bronzor's job is done, Byron goes all out with a Steelix. I know it has a chance to take out Ponyta, so I send in Wumbo. Both of our Pokemon go for an Earthquake, and the type advantage barely counts here. Trick Room ends, giving me a chance to take Steelix out. I imagine if he had immediately swapped to the Steelix after Trick Room, I would have been completely ruined, as he would have had multiple turns to Earthquake and basically stall my team out. I would have to keep healing or let things go down. It would have been nice. His final Pokemon is Bastiodon, which is a nice nod to his son's ace, Craniodos. It tries to use an Iron Defense against my special attacker and easily gets dealt with. It's not a bad fight, but the devs could have done a better job having him take advantage of the Trick Room. I imagine if he had a 4th or a 5th Pokemon, it would have been really cool. He might have had another opportunity to set up another Trick Room, maybe have a Bronzor and a Bronzong to do that kind of work. I really would have loved if he just had more Pokemon to take better advantage of his obviously really nice team. We now receive his gym badge, bringing our total up to 6. In the next episode, we have to make our way up through Mount Coronet in order to get to Snow Point, and there's a lot of Team Galactic interference on the way. We'll probably skip through a lot of the filler, get right to it, and end next episode with the Snow Point City Gym and its gym leader, Candace. Once we get to that point, I hope to see you there.